Hi there, my name's Catherine and today I'll be explaining through a tutorial how to use Garageband and iPhoto to create a book trailer for your kids to make in the classroom. So these ones are for book week and I've chosen my example to use the line The Witch in the Wardrobe, but you choose whatever you like. So your first step is to go to Finder and you'll choose the program that you want to use, or if you've already got it open you simply go down here. So the little Garageband app is this one here, which I've actually already opened. To create a new project you just click New Project, and we'll be using the podcasting app because we are going to record our voices over some music. So not over some music, we're going to add some music. So you click Podcast, so you'll make sure that little blue box is over it and you click Choose. So you'll decide what you would like to call it. So I'm going to call it The Lion, the Witch, and the Ward. Oh, or you could save it as your student's name. So you could save it as Catherine G. Barrage book trailer, because I've created a few today. And then you'll just click, you don't change any of the settings here, and you just click Create and where you'd like to save it to. So this will take a little second. So it'll come up with this page here. So firstly you'll decide, of course, if you're a male you'll record on the male voice line. If you're a female you record under female voice line. I don't know why it's that way, I think it's just the way it picks up your voice. However, doesn't really matter for our purposes. So you click female voice, and then all you need to do to start recording is simply press this little red button here. So I'll start with my first recording, which is Lucy, Edmund, Susan and Peter thought that they were just escaping to the countryside. You press stop. To record your next voice track, what it'll do is you can just keep continuing. So, but a chance game of hide and seek would lead them through a cupboard into another world. Pause. And stop. Okay, so to go back to the start for playback, all you need to do is pull this red bar back to the start and you can play it back. Lucy, Edmund, Susan and Peter thought that they were just escaping to the countryside, but a chance game of hide and seek would lead them through a cupboard into another world. Okay, so I'm going to pull that back to the start. Just for our purposes today, because I'm going to be putting a few tracks of music on here, one slightly more dramatic than the other, I'll just show the difference. Sorry, not show the difference. I'll just add another voice track that needs a more dramatic music to go with that. So I'll just press record. There is only one that can restore balance to the kingdom of Narnia, Aslan. And press stop. If you make a mistake like that one, I didn't stop it before I should have, all you need to do is just press this, make sure it's highlighted purple. So you see that one's lighter purple, that's darker purple. You make sure it's highlighted and you press the delete button on the keyboard and it's gone. And if you delete something you shouldn't have deleted, all you need to do is go to Edit and then you press Undo Delete Region. Simple as that. So I want to record that part again. I'll just bring the red bar back to the end of this recording portion. I'll just press record again. There is only one that can restore balance to the kingdom of Narnia, Aslan. And press stop. Okay, so I'm going to want to add some music to this. Makes it a lot more dramatic. So I'm going to go to Jingles. And what you need to do is go to this little loop the loop button here. So it's a little loop symbol. You press that one and it'll come up with all the jingles, sound effects and everything that you have in GarageBand available to you. I'd suggest only using the GarageBand jingles if your kids haven't used it that often, or if you don't want to have to go through and make sure that you don't need to censor the music that they choose themselves. So these are all family friendly. And I'm just going to go to, Jingles. I'm going to choose something cinematic to start off with, and I know this one's a good one for my purposes here. So I'm just going to pull this, you just get the little hand over it, or the little mouse over it, and you pull that into the Jingles track. So of course I don't want it to go that long, so all you need to do is you get that little stopper symbol that you can see there and you pull it back, so for as long as you would like it to go. So if I play this now,
Lucy, Edmund, Susan and Peter thought that they were just...
I'm going to stop it there. You can hear that the track is too loud because you want to be able to hear your voiceover, but just with the background music for dramatic effect. So what I'm going to do to control the volume, you just press this little button here, this little drop down arrow, and it'll come up with this line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this line and it'll create one of those little dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another dot here. I'm going to pull this one down. So essentially what this means is you're fading in from soft and bringing it up to louder. But I don't want it to be too loud, so I'm going to bring this down a bit. And I'm going to create another dot here where I'm going to fade it out at the end of the track. So there we go. Okay, so if you can hear it now,
Lucy, Edmund, Susan and Peter thought
fades
that they
in
were just
nicely.
escaping to the countryside, but a chance game of hide and seek would lead them through a cupboard into another world.
And fades out. Okay, so if you want to add another track, which I would like to for this portion because it's got to be more dramatic, more punchy, I'm going to go to here, orchestral. You can choose whichever you like, of course, and I'm going to choose this track here, very dramatic. So I'm going to pull this over here. Okay, and I'm going to shorten the length. And I'm going to add, here we go, oopsie daisy, I want to pull that across a bit because I want to fade it in, oopsie daisy. Okay, so delete any of these, you can just simply use delete on the keyboard. I'm going to fade that in. Okay, so if I bring it back to the start,
Lucy, Edmund, Susan and Peter thought that they were just escaping to the countryside, but a chance game of hide and seek would lead them through a cupboard into another world. There is only one that can restore balance to the kingdom of Narnia, Aslan.
okay. So for our purposes today, that's all you need to hear and that's all you need to know. So I'm going to now save this to iTunes. This is definitely essential. So you are going to go to Share and you're going to send podcast to iTunes. So you can change all this information here, the artist name to the child's name, to whatever playlist you want to send it to, and then you just press Share. And what it'll do, it'll actually do an auto start in iTunes here. So you can see I've already created a track. We'll start playing back again. Okay, so I'm going to press pause. And I will want to next start my slideshow in iPhoto. So you will go back to Finder, you'll choose iPhoto. For our purposes today, I actually already have it in the dock. You just open it up and you'll go File, oh sorry, not File. You apologise for that. All you need to do to create a new slideshow is just right click and create new slideshow. This comes up with a photo I've used last, so you can just delete that out of there if you want to. To rename it, you just double click and I'll say Catherine Givaraj tutorial, or you can put book trailer Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe, so book trailer, but I'll put tutorial. Okay, so you'll want to go to photos to add photos to your slideshow. I would like to add one, this one here, and just shift into this one here. So you can just drag those straight into your book trailer. If you find that you've put a photo in there that you don't want, for example this one, so it's simply a matter of pressing delete. Okay, So to start the book trailer, you'll want to rearrange your photos because they'll never come in exactly the order you want them. So I'll put this one first because that's them on the train. It's the kids running while they're playing hide and seek. And there's the cupboard. That's as much as I'll show you for that one. So the title slide, you'll see that there's some text. So you can add some punchy text that has some meaning to the slide. So for example, I'll put the Pevensies. Or you can put escaping to the countryside. ... A little bit of suspense. So what it'll do is when it's playing that slide, that'll come over the top of it. So if you wanted to add more text to another slide, all you need to do is click this button here, text slide, and it'll come up with some text. Okay. So next step would be adding some music. So you just click on this music button here and it'll say play music during slideshow source. So you'll want to go to iTunes because that's where we've saved it, and then you'll search. So I think I saved mine as Catherine G. Raj book trailer, and then choose. And that will be there. You won't see it, but it'll be behind it. So if I was to play this back,
Lucy, Edmund, Susan and Peter
you can now hear the voice
just
track.
escaping to the countryside, but a chance game of hide and seek will lead
Okay,
them
I'm
through.
going to exit this for now because you don't need to see the whole thing at the minute. So obviously that didn't match up with my my audio track, sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to settings. This is where you can change the transition effects, you can change how long the slide plays for, but make sure if you don't want it to apply to all slides, you just click this slide. So some slides you'll want to play longer than others. So play each slide for a minimum, or play this slide for a minimum of, you'll need to click this little box here. One moment. Apologise for that, I was having a bit of a technical issue. So when you're in slideshow settings, you click this slide and play this slide for maybe 4.5 seconds. Transition, you'll want, dissolve is quite nice, it's just a simple change to the next. This Ken Burns one is if you want it to pan around a little bit. I don't want that for mine. So I'm going to click out of that. So if you play it back,
Lucy, Edmund, Susan and Peter thought that they were just escaping to the countryside, but a chance...
and still it's not as long as I'd like it to be, but you see how you can make it and how you can change the transitions and how long it is. If I wanted to save this slideshow now, what I would do is click File and Export. You want to create a slideshow and standard definition is fine, and you click Export. So that will export it as a video into your iTunes library. So then you can upload it to YouTube, your website, etc, etc. So this one here, I want to just save to my desktop and click OK. So it'll export the slideshow. You can click on it, open it, use it, and that is it. All the best with creating your book trailers. It's a very exciting and dynamic project, especially if you're doing it for Book Week. All the best, fellow teachers.